to Creative Monday Discussion. I am your host, Mervin Badram, and I will be with you for the next hour. Tonight's show is brought to you courtesy of Task Belize Limited, Formosa Cafe Belize, Coaching with Melanie, The Art Shack, Belmopan, YWCA, TNC, and Badram Solutions. Like, we are so excited, guys, to be with you another week. Thank you all for tuning in to Creative Monday Discussion and making this show your Monday night show. We want to hear from you where you're tuned in from. So if wherever you're locked in, use the comment section. I want to say greetings to my friend Barrett Moritz from New York City tuning in tonight. And tonight's show is going to be amazing. I'm excited for the guests that we have for you guys. It's going to be great. We're going to talk with Melanie Escalante. She is a vision and strategy coach. We're going to talk to Kenishia as well from out of Jamaica. And she's also in the financial education space. We're talking about building a life that we can be proud of. And you know, this is such a dear topic to me. This is part of what I've been going through. You know, a few years back, I made a decision to look at my life, evaluate, assess, and say, hey, some stuff needs to change. And I had to make some choices. And I actually reached out to a friend of mine. I knew her from way back. I reached out to her and I said, you know what, this is what's going on in my life. This is where I'm at. I feel stuck and I need help. And that person is Melanie Escalante. She's a visionary and strategy coach. And I've been working with her for the past few years, just kind of streamlining the vision, streamlining the direction and what I'm passionate about and how to execute that. So it's an honor and a privilege for me to introduce my first guest tonight, Miss Melanie Escalante. I just want to welcome Melanie to the screen. Hi, Melanie. How are you doing?
Merv, I'm really good, thanks. Thank you so much for the invitation to be here. I'm excited to be here.
I know you and I know who you are, but I want my guests to know who you are. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I'm an encourager. I'm a supporter of people. I want to help people achieve their vision. I've done that over the years when I've been working in business, when I've been just at the clerical type level until rising into the management level. And I've basically been helping people to achieve their vision and work their vision as a part of what I do. What I like about what I'm doing now, which I've been doing for the last 2.5 years, is I realize that it's natural for me to be an encourager of people. It's natural for me to get excited about their vision. And how could I rather help them define it? How could I help them identify what it is and then how to get there, you know, and why they want to get there. And, you know, I came across some coaching training. And so I was serious about it. I certified and then went into business for myself, making it known that I'm here to help people in that space. So if you're struggling with your vision, if you don't even know what it is, but you want to talk about it and identify it, then I can help people do that.
What's your thoughts on steps that it takes to really work a vision?
Well, I think first of all, it's really knowing for yourself what it is, you know, and having clarity on that. I think it's about it being bigger than you, something greater than yourself, something that's going to make a difference, not just for yourself, but for other people as well. And in that, we would call it becoming a compelling vision, even because it's your own impelling, in other words, coming from within and drawing you to it and causing you then to get up and take action to do something about it. So once you're clear on what it is, I think you really want to know why you're doing it as well. And when you have your purpose and your vision, then you start to look at, well, what are the steps to get there? And who do I need to be in order to get there? And do I need to develop some things that I don't already have? Do I need to develop some skill sets, some character traits? And, you know, what do I believe in? You know, who am I going to be throughout this process? What are my values throughout the process? Those are really the 4 foundational things: vision, purpose, mission, values. And then, of course, you're going to come up with a strategy. That's what we're talking about today as well, vision and strategy. But the beautiful thing about having a vision is oftentimes, even within a strategy that we develop for ourselves, new things come into because our eyes are open, we can see more. And we tend to then know what action to take, and we see it even if we didn't think about it ourselves.
What's the difference between coaching and counseling? Because I know a lot of people are familiar with counseling. What's the difference between that coaching process and counseling process and what you do?
Yeah, first of all, Merv, coaching is really taking people from one level of success to another level of success. Coaching is about knowing what you want and kind of working on the steps to get there. Counseling is more identifying that you have some issues or some problems that you need to understand, and often involves then going into history, going into past. So coaching is more kind of futuristic than past oriented, both obviously supporting somebody to move into the space of leading their best life.
There's folks like Melanie, there's other people out there who are available to assist you. And I want to say, reach out and invest in your personal development, invest in yourself, because at the end of the day, we want to be the best version of ourselves so that we can help others move forward and become the best version that they can be. What's one thing or several things that you are most proud of in your life currently?
Merv, on a personal level, I would say what I'm proud of the most is my family situation. My children, they've grown into young adults who are doing well, and to be able, and who are kind, who are considerate of others. And I think for any parent, that is a blessing.
One of the things that I love about the coaching session is that I get to listen to myself. I get to hear myself process, because many times we're in spaces and circles where, there's so many voices and there's so many opinions, and we don't give ourselves the time to just hear our own thoughts and become comfortable with our own thoughts. And so, that's one of the things from the coaching session. One of my big takeaways that I get to actually listen to my thoughts and realize, hey, they're not bad thoughts, and they're actually great thoughts and great vision, and this have the potential to change someone's lives. One of the things that I've learned about vision, that it has to be memorable and portable. It has to be something that you can hold on to and run with it, right? And so, Melanie, I do want to ask, how important is someone's gifting in the transformational journey in people's life? Because our giftings play a big role in the area that we give ourselves to.
It's interesting you should ask that question, because I was even thinking earlier about what if you don't have a vision, or you're not sure what that vision is, and what's the advice at that point? And I was thinking that when I look back on my life, I think the only thing I could say is, if you're not really sure about where you're going, be the best version of yourself, be your best self today, and do your best today. And the way will reveal itself for you through that process,
Our next guest hails from Jamaica. She's an entrepreneur, very passionate about financial education, helping women, helping people building their best financial life possible. So I'm very excited to introduce to you guys Miss Kenishia Mais. Am I saying it correct?
Kenishia Mais.
Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
A Jamaican entrepreneur, certified financial educator. I love personal finance. I love helping people build that financial foundation. I especially love working with young adults, and I especially love working with young women, basically building financial literacy in Jamaica. Like when I started, it wasn't a thing. No one knew what it was, and now it's a more common conversation. So I'm happy to see the progress that has been made in the 5 years that we've been in existence.
Very good. Very good. What made you step into the financial education space?
Well, in the education space of it, it's kind of tricky, right? So I always grew up with, I always saw my parents save. They had this tall wooden pan that they would put coins in, so I kind of thought it was normal to save. I didn't know that they were actually hard money, and this was only the savings that they had. But because it normalized that for me early, it was a habit that I pretty much continued with throughout adulthood. So I taught myself how to budget, how to save. I was doing my back to school very early on when I was like 14, 15, taking care of my own back to school stuff, because I would save money throughout the semester to have enough money to send myself back to school for September. So I kind of just always had the habit of it. In terms of Thriving Dollars becoming a company, so that was tricky. I had a rough patch. Like I had 30 in my financial life, just because I always had that solid financial foundation. Like I was always the one saving and I wasn't in debt. But then because you're the person who has money, everyone comes to you for money. So I started to experience the burden of that and had a moment where I kind of just snapped, and I had a large amount of money saved, and I just grew through within 6 months. So it took me a few years to accumulate, and within 6 months, I just spent it all, and then I was broke. And then I was in debt, and then I was like confused because I'm coming from up here, and now I'm like up here. So that was very humbling. And I reached out to my mentor and I asked him to teach me how to be rich. And he gave me an audio, this flash drive with like 1 million audiobooks. And I was annoyed at first because I'm like, I'm trying to get rich. I want step 1, step 2 rich. Giving me homework. I don't want homework. I want groceries. So I eventually started to listen to the audiobooks when I was just at a very low point. And one of the audiobooks I listened to was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Love that book.
Excellent book. And I remember in the book, he was talking about making money work for you. And I was so confused because I had never heard that before in my life. So I reached out to my mentor and I asked him, what does this mean? And he basically broke down some stuff for me, like, this is if you're investing, this is if you're doing that. And I was like, how do I invest? Because at the time, financial information in Jamaica was literally non-existent. You couldn't just type things into Google. I know you type things into Google, the Thriving Dollars website will pop up among a few others, but at the time it didn't exist. But nothing I tried was working. And I mean, everything was just crumbling and I just couldn't understand it. So I started an e-commerce boutique by accident. And I have a whole
by accident.
By accident, I'm telling you, I have a whole journey on on my personal blog, or the Thriving Dollars blog, I believe, kind of outlining that. But I essentially ordered some earrings. I didn't get them. I thought I was scammed. I was like, these people in Asia, these people in China, they stole my money. Granted, it was only $6, but when you're broke, $6 means a lot, right?
I agree.
Exactly, $6 US. So I eventually I was so depressed, and my mentor, he paid me. He's like, I'm going to pay you to leave the house. I don't care where you go, but I need you out of the house. And I'm broke, so this is free money. I am going to go somewhere to get this free money, sir. So I went to my cousin's house, and we walked around the road to my grandma's house, and there was a package there for me. And I was so confused, like, why do I have a package here? And they were the earrings that I thought I never got. Apparently, I had put the wrong address, so they had been sitting for weeks. And when I opened the package, there were like 8 extra pairs of earrings. Granted, I'm like, well, I'll just resell these, no big deal. And I happened to just sell the first pair on the way back home that night. And then as I'm continuing my journey home, I'm like, if I sold that one that easy, what about these others, And then I had that I got from a mentor. So I sold the rest of the earrings, and I kind of just used that to bootstrap a whole e-commerce business. Like, first off, inventory, I taught myself how to code the e-commerce website. I was just a mad scientist, and I ran that business close to 2 years. And I eventually started to feel I didn't enjoy it, except like interacting with customers. I didn't actually enjoy it. I knew I wanted to do personal finance, but I just didn't know how to make it happen. So what I started to do was just to put aside money to transition, because I didn't want to be that broke again. Like, I needed to have that cushion that I never created for myself before I left my corporate job. So I started to put aside money I'll say the majority of 2015 was me just putting away money to try to figure out. It wasn't money to start the business. It was money to just give myself time to figure out what I wanted to do without having to worry about, I need to do something right now to make money. And that would take me out of my focus,
We're going to have our Q&A section. If you have questions that you want to submit, use our comment section to submit those questions. What would you say are 2 keys to success?
I'd definitely say that you need to have some amount of grit, because things aren't going to always work the way how you expect them to. But you
Yeah, I
need to
agree.
stick with something. And in addition to sticking with something and having grit, you also need to learn how to pivot. So you can still get to the end goal, taking a different route. To just know when it's time for you to change direction to get to
Yeah.
the desired end goal.
I have to say vision, right?
Yeah.
I can't not say that. And so I would say it's defining your vision, knowing what you want. Let's even remove the word vision, but just as Kenishia said, goals. On a practical level, just knowing what you want, and then it's more than knowing what you want. I think picking up on the grit word is take action. Commit to it and take action. And then I would say enjoy whatever results from that. Enjoy the growth.
Want to learn more about steps you can take to transform your personal and financial life? Then visit our YouTube channel to watch the full episode of Building a Life You Will Be Proud of. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell button to get more videos like this that will inspire, motivate, and transform your life. Have a good day.